Hey guys, Effie here. Today I'm going to show you how I made this card using our Born Classy and +1 stamp sets. So first I'm going to start off by stamping all of my elements with our Caviar Hybrid ink, which is our Copic friendly ink. I'm going to stamp one of each of the figures on some regular cardstock, and then I'm going to stamp all the accessories in the same Caviar ink. Now this is a card that I made for our last release, and I didn't have enough time during that period to make a video, but I did want to recreate the card to make a video because I thought it was a really nice one. So I'm starting off by Copic coloring, and I'm using 3 shades, or rather 2 shades of gray and 1 shade of light blue because I wanted the guy suits to have a blue undertone. The base color for the suit is B45, and then my midtone color is a gray, which is the C5, and then my darkest tone, which I use for shading, is the BB29. In retrospect, I would have chosen a less dark shade. I think the BB29 was a little too dark and it didn't blend as well, but I am no means a Copic coloring master. I am very much a beginner, so I'm just kind of going by trial and error here, and next time I will choose a lighter shade for my third darkest color. I'm only going to show in this video how I colored this guy's suit. I'm not going to show you the second guy's suit because I color his suit the same way with the same colors. So I'm going to turn on some music for the rest of the coloring. All of the colors will be shown in the video or in the title, so you'll be able to see which Copic markers I used. So enjoy the music, and I will be back very soon. Now I've colored everything but the girl's dress, and that is because I'm going to create a gold glitter, I guess, overlay for her dress. So I stamped the girl from the neck down on some regular printer paper, and then I cut it out, and then I adhered that cutout on top of my glossy fine glitter gold adhesive paper, and then I cut the dress closer to the line. For this technique, you just need to cut out the shape of the dress and cut everything else out, like the piece of hair that's over the dress. And then after you're finished with that, I just die cut all of my colored pieces. So I die cut all of my figures and all of those accessories, which I'm going to use for my scene card for my project. So I put all the coordinating dies down, put some micropore tape to tape it down onto my cardstock, and then I ran the whole thing through my die cutting machine to die cut all the pieces. And then I took my gold dress, I took off the protective backing and adhered it right over the girl's uncolored dress. I did not come up with this technique. It was thought up by one of my former DT members, but I just thought that it would be really great to apply it to our Born Classy gal. So once the dress was on, I just glued on all of the accessories with a quickie glue pen, and then I drew on the sweater line for the guy on the left side. There is a stamp in the +1 set where you could stamp that sweater line, which I did earlier in this video, but it got covered up by his bow tie. So I just drew one in because it was easier. Next, I cut the strap of the bag and then I looped it onto my girl's arm, and then I sealed the strap with some micropore tape, and I sealed it from the front because the tape is a little bit translucent, so you couldn't really notice it that much. Whatever was hanging off the strap, I kind of trimmed off with my scissors, and you didn't really notice the tape. And I thought that this was a really fun way to make the card a little bit more interactive and a little bit more dimensional. And I really love the way that the bag hung off her card. Next, I'm going to prep a piece of vellum with some anti-static powder tool and then stamp the feather portion of the gal's dress with some Versamark ink. And then I'm going to pour on some gold and white glitter embossing powder to create the feather-like effect for her skirt. The embossing powder has white embossing powder with gold flecks of glitter. If you don't like gold, you can find a silver version with Brutus Monroe. He has this really beautiful silver glitter embossing powder, which is a great alternative to the gold if you're not into gold. So after I finished with the dress, I adhered it onto the skirt of my gal to finish off the dress. And then I completed my scene by gold heat embossing our Grand Stairway background stamp onto a side folding A2 size card base. Then I started setting the scene by adhering all of my people onto the Grand Stairway scene, and I popped them all up with some dimensional foam tape. Next, I gold heat embossed the Born Classy birthday stamp from our Born Classy set onto some black cardstock, and then I just kind of fussy cut the entire thing out, and this I popped up right above the girl onto my card base. And to finish off the card, I adhered some glass slipper sequins around the sentiment, and this finished off the card. The design of this card was inspired by The Bachelorette, which I was kind of obsessed with right before our release. So that's why I made this card. So thank you all so much for watching. I will see you next time.